This school is only for students from tycoon families, but hidden deep inside contains a horrifying secret. This girl accidentally witnessed a murder at a prestigious school. When she was about to report to the police, a man made an offer to her. If she kept quiet, they would provide her with a scholarship to attend the most prestigious school in Korea for a poor girl like Hye-In. This was beyond her imagination. She immediately agreed, but Hye-In did not know that this decision had completely changed her life. A few months ago, Hye-In was still a poor schoolgirl with a dream of changing her life. She hated living in poverty. Every day she had to work part-time to get money to cover her living expenses because she is an excellent student. Hye-In also teaches tutoring outside of class. This time the student is a prestigious young lady preparing to take the entrance exam to an international school named Hye-In. Entering the magnificent villa made her overwhelmed. The parents were famous for being stingy and liked to show off. The reason she hired Hye-In as a tutor was to help her daughter increase her math scores, but she didn't want her daughter to study too hard. Hye-In only needs to improve 1 or 2 math points for Hye-In. The rest of the things just let the money take care of. After talking with this parents, Hye-In quickly ran to the convenience store on duty at night. She didn't have time to rest, leads to weakness in the body, even though she works hard. It only has enough money to pay tuition. This time the school also organizes a study abroad course, but the school will not pay the cost support. If she wants to go, she has to pay 3,500,000 won. This is not a small amount of money for Hye-In's family. Today is Hye-In's first lesson. However, this girl was only engrossed in taking pictures in front of the mirror, which made Hye-In uncomfortable. Hye-In innocently asked Hye-In if she thought the bag she was wearing was beautiful. Hye-In was curious as to why Hye-In bought 2 identical ones, but when she knew the value of these 2 bags, Hye-In was really shocked. Each cost more than 3 million won. That was enough for her to pay for studying abroad. Hye-In criticized Hye-In for spending money too wastefully, but as a noble young lady, this is only a very small expense. Hye-In expressed her disdain for poor people like her. People who work all their lives are unlikely to be able to afford this bag. The next day, Hye-In came to teach earlier than usual. While waiting for Hye-In, she tried wearing the branded bag and took a photo. She did not expect that this photo would become so famous so quickly. Many students at school were talking about Hye-In's family background. Only rich people could afford the limited edition bag. This time, everyone was surprised that Hye-In is usually a simple girl. Even Hye-In was shocked when the post became viral. But from now on, people are divided into 2 camps. One side thinks that she's a poor fake lady. The other side thought she was lying. If she have stabbed the javelin, she must follow the javelin. Hye-In decided to live as a lady of the sand. From then on, every day, Hye-In arrived half an hour before class. She took advantage when the owner of the item had not yet gone to school and took a few photos. Hye-In posted many photos of herself with luxury items, but her classmates never once saw her wearing it to school. Hye-In explained that since she was a child, she had been making her own money, but these expensive items were all gifts from her parents. After listening, her friends admired Hye-In very much. They said she can make money by posting ads in order to have money to go to school. Hye-In risked her life trying to wear more expensive outfits. However, while trying on the international school's uniform, Hye-In suddenly returned. Hye-In quickly crawled under the bed to hide. Hye-In got angry when she couldn't find her uniform anywhere. Hye-In's phone alert rang. Hye-In curiously went to check. When she went to personal page, she was surprised when Hye-In dared to take photos of her things and post them online. Hye-In hid under the bed, knowing she couldn't escape. So, she crawled up from the ground to face Hye-In. She angrily asked why Hye-In dared to deceive her. Hye-In threatened to tell her mother, scaring Hye-In. She begged Hye-In to keep this secret from her parents. Hye-In took this opportunity, wanted Hye-In to become her personal henchman. From then on, Hye-In had to do Hye-In's homework every day. Not to mention every time she went shopping, Hye-In is still the one who has to carry the bags. Hye-In has to take the final exam soon. Her time is getting less and less, but she always has to serve Hye-In. Hye-In tried to be patient for a whole month. Today, it was the day of the final exam. Suddenly, Hye-In received a call from Hye-In. Hye-In sobbed and said she had forgotten her file at home. If she didn't have it, she would be eliminated. Hye-In threatened if Hye-In doesn't give her the file, then she will tell her mother about Hye-In's deception. Hye-In was scared and quickly ran to the house to find the documents. She needed to quickly return to school, or else she would be late for the exam. Hye-In ran as fast as she could to the international school, but she accidentally heard Hye-In talking to friend. It turned out that this was just a game she created to torment Hye-In. Hye-In also blatantly threw the file that Hye-In brought into the trash. Hye-In was angry when she herself was looked down on like that. She missed an important exam to run here. The pent-up pressure made Hye-In smile and burst into tears. Hye-In took a deep breath to try to regain composure. Just at this moment, there was a female student who came to give her a hair tie. This female student was surprised that Hye-In looked so similar to her. Even the names were only a little different. When her friend turned her back, Hye-In suddenly discovered a note was stuck on her back. It turned out that this friend had been bullied at school. Hye-In angrily snatched the note away. Why do people still bully others like this? Then Hye-In hugged a bucket full of water to resolve the conflict. Because she was an outside student, then Hye-In didn't know the road in the school. She accidentally caught big sister just coming out of the physical room. She boldly asks you if you know where the admission interview is. Jae-na was surprised that someone dared to talk to her like that. Do you know who I am? Hye-In was bewildered and didn't understand what this girl was saying, also acted arrogant, but because she was busy finding an interview room, Hye-In didn't think much. Then she carried a bucket of water to the table receptionist. Her cold face scared the students. The receptionist showed her the way to the admission interview. The door slowly opened. Hye-In walked up to the podium, where the young lady was interviewing with a bucket of water in her hand. She coldly poured a bucket of water on Na-yeon's head, surprising the whole hall. The interview was therefore cancelled. Na-yeon's mother angrily rushed to the school and scolded Hye-In. "It's your fault my daughter couldn't enroll." She got angry and said I would sue her whole family to court. Hye-In then returned to school to ask the teacher to give her a chance, but the teacher could not create conditions for her to take the private exam, and Na-yeon's family went to school to make a fuss. The rumor that Hye-In was just pretending to be a rich lady spread very quickly. Everyone despised her pretending to live like a rich person. In just one day, Hye-In's life suddenly fell apart. During class, her friends even formed a group to speak ill of her, making Hye-In very sad. She reached the limit of tolerance. Hye-In angrily took her school bag and left first, but a girl held her hand and asked Hye-In to apologize to the whole class. Hye-In got angry and left, ignoring the sarcasm. The important thing right now is to deal with the consequences she caused. Hye-In went to meet the principal of the international school. She wanted him to imitate Na-yeon's incident, otherwise Na-yeon's family would sue Hye-In, but the principal did not agree with this suggestion. Even though she had begged the principal, he still expressionlessly invited her to leave. Hye-In sadly went to the bathroom and sobbed. She did not expect that there was someone else here. The receptionist she met in the morning was also skipping class and smoking here. He was surprised to hear a strange noise. When she put her head down and cried, he secretly hid outside. But as soon as he walked in front of Hye-In, she sat up, was frustrated when she suddenly discovered the pervert. It was obvious that this was a female toilet. Why was he here? He explained that he was just hiding here to smoke herbs, and this toilet was rumored to have a persofting. It was haunted, so no one dared to come in. When he calmed down, he realized that Hye-In was the girl from the morning. Now there was no one in the school who didn't know Hye-In, but she wasn't in the mood to joke around with him. As soon as it was dark, Hye-In deliberately climbed the fence to enter the school and saw the receptionist. Hye-In asked him to show him where the principal's car usually parked. She had to follow him to beg for Na-yeon's admission. Hye-In sat and waited for a long time without seeing the principal. Because she was so tired, she fell asleep. When she woke up, the clock had struck 2 a.m. There was no one left in the schoolyard. Hye-In was disappointed to leave when suddenly she heard a loud noise. She turned head in fear and found the body of a female student had just fallen down. That was the friend Hye-In met in the toilet. Hye-In shouted loudly for help. Immediately the police were present and blocked the scene. Hye-In, with an unstable mentality, is being taken care of by police officers. She trembled and said she saw a shadow on the rooftop. Hye-In did not expect that this incident would change her life forever. The news that one student in the school committed suicide came to the principal's ears. She coldly ordered the subordinates to block this news. The international school could not be tainted with this. Ader staying at the police station all night. In returned home, on her shirt there was still a cheek stain left over from last night. Her face was tired from not getting enough sleep. Before she even stepped into the house, she saw Na-yeon's mother. Hye-In depressedly asked her what she was doing here. "Did you come to my father to sue?" But her attitude shocked Hye-In. She happily asked Hye-In what method she used to make the principal change his mind. Now Na-yeon has been admitted to an international school, so she also withdrew her lawsuit. Hye-In was surprised and didn't understand what she was talking about, but now she got rid of this troublesome lawsuit. Hye-In, with a confused expression, she returned home. Suddenly a text message from the principal was sent. Hye-In was stunned and called the principal back to confirm. The principal wanted her to keep last night's incident at school a secret. In return, he will agree to let her and Na-yeon enroll. Hye-In cannot believe her ears anymore. This is the opportunity to change her life. While the female student who committed suicide last night is being cared for at the hospital. However, the victim was taking a turn for the worse. Her ability to recover was almost gone. Her best friend was heartbroken looking at the victim on the hospital bed. The victim's mother came to ask him. She was grateful when he came to visit her daughter. This friend was surprised that someone else was here. It was clear that the victim had no friends at school besides the victim, and he were also bullied by the school bosses. They wanted to find out who was sent a complaint, so they threw each of them into the lake. Because he wanted to protect the victim, he accepted to be expelled from here. At this international school, there is a hierarchy among students. The top is big sister Jae-na, whom no student dares to disobey. Next is Jae-na's group of close friends, all of whom are children of powerful person. There was even the principal's son. Not only the students, but even the teachers couldn't do anything to them. Jae-na during class even blatantly argued with the teacher because this one was not satisfied with her. There were many people was kicked out because of Jae-na's ladylike nature. In contrast to Jae-na, In was bullied at school. Now every time they see her entering class, her friends always make trouble with Hye-In. They often treated her like trash. Today was Hye-In's last first day at this school. They were all very surprised when the next school she attended was an international school, a famous school for the rich. The next morning, someone came to deliver a new uniform to Hye-In to better match the pressure